check it. Hey, check it. Put the place up. Hey, check it. Hey, check it. Put the place up. Hey, check it. Hey, check it. Put the place up.
Carl Coolage for the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. Thank you so much for joining us here on our On the Court live show. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to all Sports Hit List content. I'd like to give a special shout out, as always, to our Hit List contributors. to those who always pull up to the comments, to everyone who's supporting the brand. We are growing and expanding. This week, we debuted 2 new shows. Please make sure you check them out. Chirp and Chat on Tuesdays at 5:30 with Ryan Forte. You get all your hockey needs. Pull up to that. That's a great show. Today, Andres and Jordan debuted their show, Sports Mania, at 4 o'clock. So they're joining us on the Wednesday block. So special shout out to those guys. And I'm definitely proud of them. My students right now are aspiring to be sports journalists. So it definitely is an honor and privilege to watch them as they grow along on their own. They've been doing it with me for a couple of years now, and it's time for them to walk on their own and get their own smoke and get their own segments and put in the work like Ziggy and I have been doing since 2008. So kudos to the youngins for coming up and taking initiative and starting their show. So show some support. Check out their shows. I know some people may agree, disagree. They're going to be green. They're going to improve, but that just goes with the nature of the business. So shout out to them. Ziggy Zig, what's going on, sir?
Yo, what's going on, man? I'm here chilling, brother.
What's going on? How was the work week?
Work week is still going. It ain't like it's over. I mean, we all hanging on at this point for that February break, man. I think
Speak
we
for
all
yourself. I only get one day. I don't get my spring break till March. I only get
man,
one
that's
day.
what happens when you don't teach for the DOE. See what I'm saying?
I
You
feel
always
you.
come over, teach these little kids with us.
My man, Mike Miller, people in the hit list streets have been waiting to talk to you. There's a lot going on, man, because of the Pacers and the trades.
Right.
They're waiting to talk to you, sir. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, my brother.
Coach, can you hear me? I can't hear you, though.
You on mute.
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
You look like you're getting some good sunlight. Where you at, man? It looks like you're
I
glowing
don't
over
want that
there.
man to disclose his undisclosed
He always
location,
do
man.
that.
Leave that man
I'm
alone.
in a
Always
secret
do that.
location right now, man.
He's looking good. But before we
can't
begin
let
today's
people know where I'm
show, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of things I need to address, right? So a couple of things. We know that we're a network and we're expanding and we have a lot of shows. And there's some shows that believe that they're better than others because they're diverse. Now, special shout out to Smoke and Mirrors. They had a great segment on Monday. Fan Zone had a great segment on yesterday. But it's mind-boggling the fact that these two shows know that they talk a lot of sports, but not one mention of the trade deadline in any of their shows. I don't understand how that works where you're in the trade deadline week. And I understand their bookings were great. Again, granted, they had great segments, but not even 1 to 2 minutes on the NBA trade deadline as they go along.
Listen, you got some shows that talk about, on every network, you got shows that talk about football, people talk about tennis, people talk about basketball, and so forth and so on. We cover basketball. That's what this show is about. We're going to talk about the trade deadline.
But they called us one-trick ponies because of that, though. That was the problem.
Why do you take that personal, Carl?
I don't take it. Not at all.
That means you're just great in an area of expertise.
Great in an area of expertise that I'm better at them at.
That's right. Yo, Carl,
make it that clear. That's
fine.
Carl,
the cardiologist never gets mad when they say, "Oh, you only know about the heart." He doesn't care.
That's true. That's true.
He doesn't care.
The other thing I want to mention is that the Nets have lost 9 in a row. Now, Mike, I want you to refresh my memory, right? The Nets fans, were they not a lot of talking, a lot of chatter when the Nets were winning and they were at the top of the Eastern Conference
really
for the last 2 years?
Drama tonight.
I'm not starting drama. I'm just talking facts. I just want to talk what it is and what I've seen.
Man.
So let me talk. I don't do a lot of talking. I get Wednesdays to talk my shit. So let me talk for a minute. So the Net fans were talking a whole lot. And I started this yesterday. I'm going to finish it today. They need to just sit in their corner and shut up. We're talking about now. We're not talking about the playoffs. We're not talking about what happened then. We're talking about the now, right now. It's not looking good. In the words of Mike Miller, it's looking kind of shaky, baby, for the Nets, right?
Yes, very shaky, baby. I don't know. Man, Mac is the insider when it comes to the Nets and that whole Kyrie situation. I'm interested to know what he knows. I know he can't reveal everything, but we got Wom here, so I want to know what.
And Wom, they're calling for you, but we have a lot of trades to talk about. Let's talk about. We could start off with February 7th. The Cavs traded Ricky Rubio and also the 2022 first round draft pick, lottery protected, 2022 second round draft pick via the Rockets, 2022 second round pick via the Jazz to the Pacers for Karis LeVert, and the 2022 first round pick via Miami. That was on Monday. Tuesday, we get Portland. CJ McCollum is traded Also, Larry Nance Jr., Tony Snell to the Pelicans for Josh Hart, Nicola
Tony
Alexander.
Snell's dang. Tony
Tony
still
Snell's in
playing?
that deal. Josh
Yeah.
Hart, Nicola Alexander Walker, Thomas Tranchonsky, Didi Lawuza, and 2022 first-round pick protected. And then we get yesterday from Mike Miller, we get the Kings. The Kings get Domantas Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and the 2023 second-round pick for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. That's the update on the trade front for those who did not know. So, Wong, let's start with you. What are you surprised by some of these transactions that have occurred over the last few days?
I'm very much surprised on Halliburton. That was a shocker. Talking to some people who I know who work with Sacramento, they really loved him. He was one of those guys who really worked very hard. Mike, you're a very extremely hard worker. He was always in the gym, extra workouts, extra practices, 2 months in advance. The team, some of the young rookies, him and Savion went out to LA. They put the work in together before they got to Sacramento for the season. So for them to part ways with Halliburton, that was a real shock for a lot of people within the organization who didn't even know that was, a move that they were looking to make. So I was shocked by that, but also shocked the Kings. Fleece City for the Kings. Like I don't know what they were thinking. Like who pulled this move? Like if you put this on ESPN.com or the trade simulator wouldn't allow this to happen. I don't think if you tried to plug in the pieces. So I don't know who authorized that. Who thought like Sabonis is good, but not for those. Like you can't give up all those pieces. So big shout out to the Pacers and the organization on. I think they got the best out of that trade to me. Coach,
before we move on, I just want to get your opinion on CJ McCollum. There's from what I've read is that they're going to try to rebuild. They're going to create some free agency, cap room to rebuild around Dame. My initial thought was CJ's gone around Damian Lillard, Portland, right?
Which team?
Portland.
Nah,
that's what the reports are saying. I'm letting you know what I read. The reports are saying that they're going to rebuild around him. But I thought when I saw CJ get traded, I thought that's it for Dame. Dame's on the block. Somebody's going to get him. I'm already capping for him to go to my team. So again, what do you think here with CJ being moved? Should Dame be moved and again, Dame wants to stay in Portland. He's still staying consistent. He wants to stay in Portland.
Listen, there's always a couple players who like to stay in their cities throughout their entire career. Maybe Dame's one of them, but if he has any hope of trying to win a championship or go further into the playoffs, it's not going to happen in Portland. Like he may just be saying that until they find the right team, find the right trade pieces, because he's not going to disrespect the organization or devalue the organization with what he says. So, but there's no way possible that I think Damon, no matter what he's thinking in his mind, he's going to go through a rebuild of his career from scratch in Portland. I don't see him doing that. It's not like he's been to the finals before and he's got that, been to the promised land. He's still trying to get there. I don't, if that's what they're doing and he's agreeing to it, God bless him. He's one of a million.
Well, I think by rebuild, like they're going to go out and try to get the next free agent.
No, nobody's doing, no. It's not happening. It's not happening.
All right.
Free agents go to like 4 different cities, 5 cities. It's not going to Portland. You got to build through the draft. You got to build through, drafting smart and maybe, getting someone who's under the radar, who ends up becoming a great player. Not those pieces aren't signing to go to those franchises.
All right, Mike, I'm going to save you for last because I know you're going to cook on your team. Ziggs, what are your thoughts with what's happened over the last few days? Are you surprised at any of these moves? What stands out to you?
I think Mac alluded to it already. The Sacramento Kings. A lot of people spend a lot of time, talking a lot of mess about the New York Knicks, but nobody ever says anything about Sacramento. On the low, they've been like one of the worst franchises, I think, in all of the major sports in America here. So we got to start looking at them like, what's really going on? You fired Vlade Divac, you got this new GM, and you're still making foolish moves. You get Sabonis, who you now kind of create an issue that the Lakers are dealing with in lack of shooting. Like, who's going to be your shooter? You shipped out Tyrese, you shipped out Buddy Hield, shout out to Ant, you shipped out Buddy Mill. That's an inside joke. And you have your defense is going to be really, really, really bothersome. I mean, and not in a good way. It's going to be like really bothersome for fans to watch because you're not going to be defending on that. And we saw Ricardo talked about it in our chat that Rashawn Holmes is not really that guy. He's not really that consistent. So who's going to be your defense? I think they're trying to push for like, a play-in, but I don't see it happening. And I don't think this is doing any favors for De'Aaron Fox.
So Mike, take us through your week, right? So Monday you ship off Karis LeVert. I texted you and you were kind of like, ah. So then by the following day, you're getting Buddy Hield. So take us through your emotions going through this.
That boy about to be shipped out. That boy about to be shipped out.
So Mike, how are your reactions with that? Well, I mean, shipping off Karis LeVert.
So I had already said a couple of weeks ago the fire sale was happening. So I knew already. They have been talking about it for at least 2 months, based on all the injuries and everything, and knowing, we all know in the NBA, you got two options. You're either going to be great or young. You can't be in the middle. If you're in the middle, then you just kind of like are treading water. So you got to try to build that way. So we kind of knew, okay, the handwriting's on the wall. Even though injuries and COVID and everything ravaged us, but at some point that ain't going to be the excuse, really. I thought we had a pretty good starting five coming in, but injuries and everything like that. So I knew they was going to blow it up. But what we got for Karis, I was a little bit disappointed by. I thought we could get more. And I'm not going to lie. I watched him get 42 just recently. I think that was Saturday. He got 42, and I saw him get 22 and a quarter, 24 and a quarter against the Lakers. So there were flashes where you could see Karis LeVert, okay, maybe he can be a number one guy. Now, we all know, though, it's easy to get numbers and stuff on bad teams when there's no expectations, nobody wants you to do anything. But I saw some potential. So coming off the heels of it, kind of like prisoner to a moment, I was a little bit a victim of that. So I thought we could have got more for him. But the 2022 pick, especially because Cleveland, their pick is lottery protected, but it's not gonna be that high of a lottery pick. But you take what you can get because the goal is to build young. Now with the Damo pick, with the trade for Tyrese Halliburton, initially I was upset because I had my heart set on De'Aaron Fox. So because I was thinking about De'Aaron Fox, and I'm gonna blame Mac, because Max said he heard that, De'Aaron Fox ain't want to be there. So I'm blaming him because he got me excited about that.
I never said he was coming to y'all, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I said he ain't want to be.
But all I knew was he was available, and we have been in talks with Sacramento for like a month. So the assumption was and that's why, as you started to hear the reports, everybody was shocked. Same way Mac was, same way Ziggy was. Everybody was shocked because all the reports was that Tyrese Halliburton wasn't available, and that everybody kind of knew De'Aaron Fox wanted out, like Mac was alluding to. Everybody kind of knew that was the direction. Plus, they tried to get off Buddy Hield in the summer. So when it was Tyrese, it was a shock to everyone. But the more and more I started to, and I like Tyrese Halliburton too. I've seen a couple of his games, and so I like his game. And so the more and more I started to hear what we're really getting back and started to look at it, I said, oh, okay, Sacramento, yay me. Because now that means we can now build with a young, because I think Tyrese has the potential to be a star. Not saying superstar. It's hard to really tell who's going to be a superstar. But my team is like most small market teams. We're going to get our success through player development and drafting player development and timely trade, free agent signings and trades. We're not the Lakers. We're not those teams that's going to get the big names. So this is the strategy for us. And a lot of people are saying we kind of sped up our rebuild process by getting Tyrese back for Damo. So I'm excited. I'm actually really excited to watch them now, even though we're probably going to get smacked a lot of games. But it's always great to see your team develop. And I know, like I said before in the beginning of the year, my team has a history of developing players at a great rate. That they're not always, we don't win championships like that, but nevertheless, we develop players in our system and so in the organization. So I'm excited about what is going to happen for the Pacers, and I don't think we're stopping in terms of moves. If not now, even in the off season. So
I got a question for Mike real quick, Carl. My bad if you don't mind.
Sure, no, go ahead.
So Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you guys can trade Malcolm Brogdon this year. It's kind of like similar to Clint Capella, right?
Yeah, we had just signed him to that deal.
Right.
I think it was last year. We had just signed him to that. So
Right.
he's still there.
So do you want him to be moved too if you're continuing this rebuild? And
Yeah,
what do you want for him?
I
Since y'all
would.
got
It's
my bad.
50-50. I actually, that's a great question, Zig, because I thought about it earlier. And I do think, like most people have said, maybe the past 5 or 7 years, I do think part of the problem with some NBA teams and why they grow slowly is because of no veterans. Like we make them ultra young, like young in terms of your core. But I look at like the Warriors, that's an example of how you build, or the Spurs back in the day when you get Tim Duncan, but you also have David Robinson, a veteran. So you have to have the right veterans. And so that may be the reason to keep Malcolm Brogdon versus just shipping him off. Because it's not like, oh, let's just get Rondo, who's the last guy on the bench, but he's your veteran. No, it has to be a veteran that's good enough to play and be active. So I do think that's something that the team should consider. Like, let's keep some of these veterans that have some level of clout, because Malcolm Brogdon has all-star numbers, though he's not really an all-star. So I do think that's somebody we should keep, especially as Chris Duarte develops and as Tyrese Halliburton develops. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be key to have some veterans, because you just don't want everyone 21 and younger. So,
Ziggs, let me ask you this. Who needs to make a move between now and tomorrow at 3:00?
Oh man, dang, you caught me off guard with that.
Yo,
That was
all
in
the
the
teams
lineup,
we ain't
son.
talk about.
Who really needs to make a move? There's a lot of moves that need to be made, but who really needs to make a move?
No, I don't know, man. I'm leaving the Knicks out of this one, man. I think Julius Randle's just having a rough year. The media clearly is hyping it as well. I mean, he's not doing any favors the way he's carrying on, but I'm not gonna go on and talk about Julius Randle. You might have to come back to me, man. I don't like that. I don't want to just throw out some random name. You know what I mean?
Okay,
it's easy
coach.
To say, like,
who needs to make a move between now and 3:00 tomorrow? Who needs to? Not just making moves to make moves.
I'll give you a hint. Inside joke. The Los Angeles Lakers, the Lakers of Los Angeles, they need to make a hint. They need to make a move because clearly what they have is not going to get them far right now. I know people are saying, Anthony Davis is just coming back. LeBron has another gear. That's cool. But their championship team is what they hope for. That's their endeavor. They're not just hoping to make the playoffs. So by me saying this is not trying to disrespect the franchise or say their team's better than them. Yes, teams who are fighting for a championship are clearly ahead of them and they have to catch up. When I say that, I mean the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean the Phoenix Suns. I mean the Chicago Bulls when healthy. I mean the Miami Heat when healthy. Those are some teams that I just think that if they're healthy come May, are going to be better than them, have better pieces, have better subs coming in, better second units coming in than the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Lakers in La La Land with LeBron James, it's either championship or it's a horrible season. There's nothing else in between for that franchise. Other franchises, I don't care what you say. We can say we made it to the second round, or we made it to the playoffs, or we made it to, somewhere that we weren't supposed to go. For them, it's once they get eliminated, even if it's in the Western Conference Finals, it is a season of disappointment. So they need to make a move. Philadelphia and Nets, get it together. Figure it out.
I was just going to segue to them. Yeah, but
figure it out. Harden, he doesn't want to be there, clearly. The reason why he doesn't.
They sat him out last night too. He was healthy to play. They sat him out
because the trade talks are going on. Because you don't play players when you're talking about trading them to that extent. Because if anything goes wrong, injury or anything that happens, then you've wasted a day or the trade is done. He doesn't want to be in Brooklyn. Clearly,
that's coming from Wome people. Wome, we believe in Wome.
He doesn't want to be in Brooklyn. We know that, but some people were saying that the Nets are not going to tell you. This is what people don't get the common sense. If I'm playing a card game with you, right? I'm not going to tell you what card I have so you can change the way you play it. Why would Steve Nash or anybody in the Nets organization say we want to trade James Harden?
Right.
Stop asking for coaches to be honest on there, talking about, because the coach or the general manager say it's not happening. What do you think reporting is? And I'm not a reporter, but reporting is going through back channels and different sources to get to an opinion or come to a conclusion of something that is going to happen. These reporters are professionals. They haven't got to where they've gotten in their jobs to make stories out of thin air all of the time. So sometimes they say things to get people going, but a lot of the time, some of the things they say have some truth to it. They just haven't fully created the entire narrative that's surrounding what we're dealing with. There is truth in James Harden not wanting to be in the Nets. He didn't think it was going to go this way. First of all, him and KD are not as close as KD and Kyrie. He's kind of upset because he don't like the way everybody handled the Kyrie situation. He doesn't like the fact how it happened. He didn't sign up for this. He wants to go play somewhere where he doesn't have to deal. He just came from circuses. You know, everybody killed him in Houston. Everybody put all the pressure on him on Houston. Now you come and Kyrie can't play and KD's injured, and now all the pressure's on you in a city you don't even want to be in. So he'd rather go somewhere where it's not his team. It's Joel Embiid's team in the Sixers, and now he can just flourish and just do what he do. Score. Nobody else is asking him any questions. We're not asking you to be a leader. We're not asking you to come to practice first. We just want you to do what James Harden does. So the Nets, Philly, this is the best deal you're going to get, Philly.
That's right.
This is the best deal you're going to get. Nets are in the driver's seat. If I'm the Nets, give me Ben Simmons. Give me Seth Curry.
That's right.
Give me what's the kid? I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah,
I thought
Thibault.
Matisse
Give me
Thybulle.
Thibault, who can play
yeah.
some defense, because one of the worst things the Nets have is their defense. You
Yeah.
know, they don't play defense. You know, teams, if you bet a lot, bet the over every time the Nets play because they're gonna let people score points. So get the Nets are in the driver's seat. Philly, you got a player that's not gonna play this season. So what are you waiting for? And you got an MVP caliber player, and you're in the top three. Your team is looking good. You added James Harden. That's an element to your team. What are you waiting for?
But a question, but this the thing, and I think I heard somebody talk about it. I think it was Stephen A. But this the thing, though, Mac. You make that trade, but you doing that not only in your conference, in your division. You may have to play them. Now that you done traded all your defense over to them, now you got two guys, Thibault and Ben Simmons, that can guard James Harden now. What you gonna do? So you do gotta factor that in. Like you helping yourself, but you helping the Nets though. But you could look at, well, is KD gonna come back 100% healthy? I mean, that's what I'm saying. What do you do? What do you think about that?
Is Kyrie? Is the governor going to
true.
change the vaccination mandate, and
That's
Kyrie's
true.
going to be able to play at home? It's so many different elements to this. Where I'm just like, if you're Philly, at the end of the day, am I willing to have a top, 15, top 20 player? Say what you want, but you can say top 20 player in the NBA, just not play and get nothing out of it. Do I think I have enough in a 7-game series to defeat the Milwaukee Bucks, the Miami Heat, or the Nets when they get KD back from injury? No, you don't have enough. If you're Philly, you don't.
You ain't gonna beat the Hawks if the Hawks sneak in.
You don't have enough. You don't have enough firepower. But if you get that, we saw that happen to them last year. They lost to the Hawks.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw that happen last year. They didn't have enough firepower. You bring in James Harden. Joel Embiid is already scoring 28 plus a game.
Second in the league.
You let him go to the bench now for 10, 15 minutes, and you got somebody else who can give you 30 a game. Doc Rivers just got to do a better job if he loses some of his defensive pieces on keeping that defensive mindset with the team that's there. If that's the key. But you just can't risk not having anything. You can't leave the game with nothing out of the situation. So they're on the clock. Philly's on the clock.
So Ziggs, does this trade go down?
I don't know, man. I like I said, it's coming from Mac. I whatever Mac say, I'm following, man.
Right, but Mac told us the trade needs to happen, but does it actually go through though? I mean,
I don't think it goes through. I think what the Nets are probably trying to do is just try to hold out hope that they could swing it one more time with Kevin Durant, James Harden, a part-time quote unquote Kyrie Irving. We saw what happened, how close they came last year against the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that's exactly what they're doing. If they pull the trigger, kudos to Philly. They get a solid dude in James Harden, but like Mac alluded to, you lose a little bit of your defense. So I'm not too sure. I don't think they make that move. Who I do think needs to make a move, and I think watching the Indiana Pacers and whatever Portland is doing, I'm saying they're going to soon trade Damian Lillard because they ain't no way he's staying. I don't just see it. I think Washington needs to clear house. I think with Bradley Beal hurt, I think with him done for the season, You started off with him thinking it was going to be out for a week. Turns out it was worse. The three-headed monster, no offense to your man's Mac, somebody got to go. I don't know if it's Daniel Gafford. I don't know if it's Montrez, but somebody got to clear space for that center position because it's getting wild down there. You saw
so
Spencer
clear house,
Dinwiddie.
meaning you're giving up the pieces they got back for Russ. That means Kuzma's on
Yeah.
the table.
No. Well, I mean,
Not all of them.
not
Not all of
all.
them,
I don't
right,
think you move Kuzma. I think Kuzma's been having a hell of a season out there in Washington. Nobody's really talking about him. I got him for a candidate for most improved, not top 3, but he's definitely up there. But I'm talking like Spencer Dinwiddie. He hasn't really progressed. You know, I know he's coming off an ACL injury, but it's just crazy. He comes in when Bradley Beal's playing, he's giving you 5.7 rebounds, 7 assists. I watch the Wizards games, and then when he's out, Bradley Beal's out, he's giving you 21.7 rebounds, and then some nights 7 points. It's just real inconsistent play coming from the whole team, and they started off so strongly. So I'm going with the Wizards. They got to start cleaning house, following suit with the Indiana Pacers.
Mike, does the Nets trade happen?
Oh man, I didn't know that last night they sat him down when he was healthy. So
Yeah,
I'm with Mac. That is, we know the history of the NBA. That is an indication that the trade is already on the table. That they just haven't finalized it yet. So I think it happens, man. They got to the 11th hour. The sticking point is probably that what the Nets are asking for. Philly may not want to give up Seth Curry, their best three-point shooter, even though he stunk last night shooting threes. But they may not want to give up that much because they may be looking at it as, well, we could just get James in the offseason for free or basically clear cap space, and they may not want to give up that much. But I think it's going to happen. If they sitting him out and he's healthy, then that means they already have the trade in place. And I'm with Mac. If you're the Nets, hey, you tried your best with this 3. He don't want to be there. And we saw it last year when he left Houston. He's going to pout. He's not going to play for real. And just bringing KD back is not going to make him play for real because, as Max said, that's not his man like that. And all the reports are he hates living in our city. Yeah. So if he hates living there,
I don't know how you love Philly that much more.
That's what I'm saying. But Philly is better.
But Mike, you said something key here. Did they really try? It's been a year. It hasn't even been it's only been a year.
Look,
Did that really
that's
try?
The point. That's the point, Carl.
That's not trying, bro.
But Carl, that's the point. You brought the team together. KD was hurt in the beginning last year a little bit. Kyrie got hurt in the playoffs. Now you got all this extra drama. Your trying was getting them together. This is part of the trying experience, is that how does it work? And all of these things are not just KD's injury. Some of these things, like Kyrie's situation with the vaccine, that is something that a player is choosing. James is probably thinking, well, everybody's not bought in the same way that I am. So he doesn't have to worry about that with Philly. Joel Embiid is finally looking like he's healthy. Philly has the stability from the sense of Doc Rivers coaching executives. So he's not. My whole thing with the Nets is, y'all know James's history. It's recent history. It's not like 10 years ago. He just pouted his way out of Houston a year ago.
I'm gonna tell you something else right now, and I knew this was gonna happen because I thought the Nets had a chance to win one. They still have a chance depending on what happens with. It's really up to the vaccination, vaccination stuff. That's what it comes down to. But they're about to be in the same position like how that first team was in Brooklyn. That first team, when you traded everything, you had one good run.
Yeah.
One good run.
That KG, Paul Pierce.
Yeah. You traded because you had to. You made a splash. But in 2 years, if these guys leave, you are left with nothing.
That's a barren wasteland. That's Sacramento. That's Sacramento.
Nothing.
That becomes Sacramento.
Nothing. So it's like the management, the coaches, and I get the passion between all the fans, even in the hitless streets, the Brooklyn Nets fans. I get the passion because you're not a storied franchise. You're not a respected franchise. Like, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You
can't be. It's okay, coach.
Respectfully.
No. Respectfully. You're like the Cleveland Cavaliers fans when they had LeBron. You had everything in your whole existence is this moment.
That's
And
right.
if it doesn't work, you don't know if you're ever going to get the notoriety or get the feeling of saying that we are the best team. We are within the elites of the NBA. So I get the passion. And I mean, I'm not a hater. Like, I wanted it to work. You know, I wanted it to work because I really wanted to see KD and Kyrie and Harden really mix it up, because we've seen other big threes do it too. But it's just injuries, and maybe the basketball guys just said, chill out.
Carl,
You know, it's not as easy. Go ahead,
Go
Mike.
ahead. No, you see what happens? All I'm saying is, I think they recently said he was arguing with somebody about Golden State. You left Steph. That's all I'm saying. You left that organization.
Here's the
Brooklyn.
thing, and people could argue, they could say it was the media pressure to say that, can he leave the team by his own?
That's what it was. It was the media pressure that pushed him to Golden State. The same media pressure that pushed LeBron to Miami. The media keeps telling you about rings. You succumb to that, and you try to get your rings fast. And so that's why he went. I'm just saying.
But you know what? It's definitely what we talked about last year at the end of the finals, right? To kind of wrap up this segment, where the teams that we predicted to go to the finals, the Lakers and the Nets, were the teams that we wanted to see in the finals. Sure. Didn't make it. And now going into this year, it looks like neither of them may even make it. It's the changing of the guard, going back to the drafting system of players, young players, keeping your core to get yourself to the final. So that old school mentality of drafting and building around the pieces still does work in a sense, right?
Still work.
I mean, you look. I mean, you got to add some trades. You know, look
some
at
trades.
Miami.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Miami
Butler
too,
was in Chicago. They made theirs on trades. Phoenix got Chris Paul. You know, like let's not get it twisted. The only two teams that really have the real core where they're playing is that's contenders. No disrespect to other teams. Boston's making some noise now as of late, and you got your core together. But contending wise is Golden State Warriors, still
Milwaukee,
with Draymond, Clay, Steph, and Milwaukee. Definitely Milwaukee. And I'm going to give you, even though it's through trades, it's not through big boy trades. Philly is not through big boy trades. It's really through Embiid, what Doc is trying to do down there, and pieces. So it's still, and Simmons was supposed to be a part of that, and he was, drafted by the Sixers as well with the process. But, you got to do a little bit of both. We're starting to see that, it's no more of those, like, we're just going to put three people together.
This officially ends it.
So I was just about to say, Ziggs, is the big three free agency era go out and get that top free agency era over?
I don't think it's necessarily over. I think teams are still going to swing for that. But to kind of just see this Nets collapse does me, a lot of great deal of happiness. I'm just going to throw that out there. I know Max talked about not being a hater, but I don't care about none of that. I'm so glad that this
we all feel the same way.
We all do what we got. Listen, we got to do what we got to do, man.
All right. So the debate of the week, fellas, you guys know I got a debate of the week.
Hold on, let me throw something in real quick, Carl, before you go there. Yo, I just wanted to get this out because this is piggybacking off of what I said to Andres last week. Yo, I don't care what nobody says. The Warriors are still the best team in the league. Like, nobody's talking about it. See, when Phoenix had their active winning streak, everybody was crying and felt bad for them. So that's why they started getting more media pub, because they was all crying, saying, oh, why nobody pay attention to us? The Warriors on a 9-game winning streak, we ain't saying nothing about them. But when Steph was shooting bad, we said everything about them. They're the best team in the league. They're the only team that's
still shooting bad.
No, he's not. He shot 40% the other day. What are you talking about? He shot 40% for three. Stop it.
He was three for something, and then he played like some garbage minutes ahead of.
I don't care, Mac. He was 4 for 10. I watched the game too. He was 4 for 10. He shot 40% for three. I don't care about that. My whole thing is this. My whole thing is this. Boom. They're the best team in the league. They are the only team in the league that beat Phoenix twice. No other team can say that. So, and we act like it didn't happen because it happened at the end of 2021. To me, they're still the best team in the league, but we'll see. If Milwaukee beats Phoenix tomorrow, then they're going to have a pretty tough argument. They're going to say they're the best team in the league. But I just wanted to throw that out there.
So, to our debate of the week, I always have a debate of the week, and I started thinking we don't give enough love to our defensive players. And I said, you know what, let's put these guys together. So I put a meme together.
Ratings.
They don't, but defense wins championships, though. We know what it is when it comes to basketball.
And championships don't give ratings either.
We got so I put together, we got Mutombo, Draymond, Gobert, Ben Wallace, Howard, and Rodman. We got people in the comments when I put up the meme. Normally I put up the meme during the day to get a discussion going, and people are saying Dream was left off. So should we add Dream to the list and take somebody off, or are we going to go with the original list? I'm gonna leave it up to my fellow guys here.
Dream was nasty, man. Dream is
Should we
I-
nasty.
add Dream and take
I
off
would-
Gobert? Because I
I
got a
would
lot of
add
flack
Dream and
about.
take off Draymond Green.
Hold on.
Wow, I was thinking that too. Though,
Is this
but I
like
stopped
like
myself.
last year when we did our
Mount Rushmore,
top
yeah,
five,
no.
and
Again,
we took
before,
one out and
listen.
okay.
Before we do the ranking, I'm just saying, should we put Dream on and take somebody off, or
Somebody
just add
said Rudy
Dream?
Gobert. I'll take out Rudy Gobert and put in Hakeem.
So it's on Mac because Mike said Rudy Gobert. I'm saying
That's it.
Draymond, so it's on Mac.
Mac, it's on you now.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to take out Gobert, man. Your man,
Okay.
I just gotta take out Gobert.
Okay, so
All
for the
right.
fans out there who are watching, Gobert's coming off, and we're putting in Dream. All right. So, Mike, I'm going to start with you. Ranking out of these top 6 defenders, what are your rankings and reasons? We got Dikembe Mutombo, Draymond Green. We got Hakeem, Ben Wallace, Dwight Howard, and Dennis Rodman. 6-1.
Okay. Y'all know I'm typically long-winded, but I'm gonna try not to be. All right. From 6-1, we'll just go in order because I was really thinking about the Gobert, not Gobert because he ain't in there no more. Mutombo's last. So I'll start. So yeah, we'll go 6, Mutombo, 5, Dwight, 4, Ben Wallace, 3, Dennis Rodman, 2, Hakeem, number 1, Draymond.
Wow, you really putting Draymond at the top?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
I
I
really
thought
wanna know
about it.
why.
All right. So basically, when we differentiate between the true big ones, so you got Hakeem and you got Dwight, you got Mutombo, and you got Ben Wallace. Let's say they mostly, primarily they just guard the paint. That's what they do, right? So there's no real versatility in their defense in terms of every position. They could just really guard the paint. Then you have Dennis Rodman, who had a lot of versatility, and Hakeem as well. To me, the reason why Draymond gets that number 1 spot is like we often say, oh, this person can guard 5 positions. And when we say that, we really just mean for a possession. But Draymond actually does that. He actually can guard multiple positions for, like, I'll give you a perfect example. Just this year against the Suns, the primary defender on Chris Paul in the first game and the third game was Draymond. So they actually utilized Draymond not as a defender on multiple players, and he does a really, really good job. I remember, again, in the finals, LeBron is typically a perimeter player, and when guarded by Draymond through the first 4 games, I believe he was shooting 4 for 12. So Draymond, in his versatility, and this is where he kind of was like neck and neck a little bit with Dennis Rodman, because we know Dennis Rodman's Piston days, he would guard the perimeter as well. And then in the latter days, he would guard the paint. So it's a neck and neck. But to me, in terms of just what you watch, Draymond can literally guard 5 positions as an undersized player. And he's guarded bigger players before. And so I know that'll factor in when some people retort that, well, he's not guarding centers like Shaq. And that's fair. And that you can add that into the conversation, and I'm willing to go with that. But to me, when I think about in terms of defense, the versatility of how to defend and who to defend on the court in terms of positions, then to me, Draymond is the number 1.
You're getting a lot of flack in the comments, Mike. I'm going to read them in a second. So
Who cares?
Okay, Ziggs, the floor is yours, sir. 6-1. Go for
All
it.
right, 6-1. So 6, I'm going Ben Wallace. All right, 5, because I had to redo because we just switched in and put Hakeem, right?
Yeah.
King kind of threw it off a little bit.
Right. So I had, and that's why Mike was talking. I was trying to like throw something up real quick. So I have 6 Ben Wallace, 5 I got Dikembe, 4 I'm gonna go with Dwight Howard, 3 I'm gonna go with Draymond Green, 2 I'm gonna go with Keem, and number 1 I'm gonna go with Dennis Rodman.
Why Rodman number 1?
Reason for me, Mike alluded to it a little bit, but I think Dennis Rodman also played the ball as well as Draymond Green 1 through 5. On top of that, he kind of took what I was about to say, right? When they asked Dennis Rodman to guard Shaq, he actually did a pretty good job against him when he played Orlando, if you remember that series in '96. So I got to give it to Dennis Rodman. Played defense really well, was able to get the chase down blocks before it was a major thing on the cameras. And he was just a hustler, man. He was an athlete through and through. You get 2 versions of Dennis Rodman. You get the Detroit Pistons Dennis Rodman, and then you get Dennis Rodman Chicago Bulls. You know what I'm saying? He had 2 tenures that was going strong, and he was still putting up numbers when he was with LA. Nobody really talks about that rebound wise. So I'm gonna go with Dennis Rodman at number 1. I can't agree with that Draymond pick at 1, but hey, I'm gonna let Mac do his thing, then we can get into it.
Remember, Rodman, 7-time defensive rebounding champion too. At that, 5-time NBA champ. So, I mean, Rodman.
I got a question. Remind me. I don't want to cut Mac over. But I got a question since you brought that up. Okay.
Nah, you can go ahead right now.
Go ahead.
All right. So my question is this: because when I was doing the research, I was like, why do we take into account rebounding defensively? Because we say rebounding champ, right? But don't we also count offensive rebounds?
Let the coach tell us. He know why. I know why too.
Well,
but go ahead.
Because a rebound ends the defensive possession.
That's right.
Okay.
So especially on defense, you can't be the possession never ends if you don't get a rebound. So
That's right.
If you're one of the leading defensive rebounders, you're pretty much one stop. You're stopping the other team from having other opportunities to score.
So, but
which is a big part.
listen to what you said. Though you said leading defensive rebounding.
Yeah. So you got to do your research and look at.
Dennis. Karl Malone's number 1 in defensive rebounds all time, but nobody thinks Karl Malone's a good defender, and that's why I be telling people they dumb. But that's why I think it's better than Tim Duncan.
All right, Coach, you're on the clock, sir. 6-1.
6-1. I gotta agree and go Mutombo because I feel like last year he was a great shot blocker, but that's about it. Mm-hmm. He played in an era where unfortunately we weren't able to test his foot speed because it's not like he had to guard a lot of fives who can really move off the dribble. So, it hurts him, but that's just what it is. Then I think we all got the same bottom 4 of the 6. I got to go Howard next. Mm-hmm. Howard next, even though Howard, he can move his feet.
That's right.
Very athletic, block shots, but just didn't have the tenacity of my third person, who would be Ben. Ben. Then
the top 3.
Number 3, excuse me. That 3, I'm going to Dream. The Dream was defensively astute. He moved his feet. I mean, I saw him make, people look silly with just how he shadowed and defended them, how he rebounded. He was a smart defender. He knew how to play screens. He knew how to hedge a ball screen. Wouldn't switch that much, but he was just he didn't let you get into the paint. And we forget the Dream's early years before he got success in winning. And that's when his defense was really top notch. I was very much back and forth with this pick because of what both Ziggy and Mike said. On one hand, Draymond is doing something that we've never seen done before. He is like your defensive coordinator in a sense where he knows and plays every single position. He rebounds the ball, and you see the changes. Even though the Warriors are still winning, they're giving up a couple more points in the nights that they're playing without Draymond Green.
That's right.
Draymond Green defensively is just, he's your brain trust on the court. He knows what every player is doing, and not just physically, mentally. He is super smart, and he really studies the film and quarterbacks your defense. On the other side, you got a beast in Rodman, who we saw would chase Jordan around. He would chase some Dominique. He would guard Dominique Wilkins in his prime.
Karl Malone too. Yeah.
Karl Malone. You see the flexibility in positions. You got a power
and then you got a
forward,
young Dennis and an older Dennis too.
Older Dennis became, more of not more of a rebounder, but just more of saving his energy, really banging down low. Where young Dennis was running like a horse up and down, trying to block shots, not worrying about offensive defense. I'm going to have to, for me, it's difference between who's the most valuable and who's better. Those are two different things.
That's true.
People always argue that. So when we argue MVP in the NBA, people always think the MVP actually means the best player in the NBA. The most valuable piece to a defense for me, if I had to pick these people to start my defense, would be Draymond Green, because of all those different assets that he brings to the table. Draymond Green is going to make a decent defender look better because of how he orchestrates the back line of that defense and points out where to go, where to be, and almost plays quarterback. The better defender all around, athletically, gifted, talented, to me is Dennis Rodman.
Mm.
He just jumped. He was super athletic. He was fast like a guard. He had intangibles. His innate spirit of just wanting to destroy you on defense, or just defense alone, is something that you can't teach. So I would have to go 1A, 1B, even though I'm cheating. 1A, I just think Draymond gives you things that not a lot of people can do. And he's been a part of some of the best defenses in NBA history, with those teams. And we're talking about a defense where sometimes on the court, like, people kill Steph Curry, but Steph Curry's not a good defender. He's okay defender. No, he's okay defender. He's not a great defender. He's not a good defender.
No, he's not a great one. Right.
Yeah, but he's a really good defender. He looks better because Draymond
covers up the
knows
wood.
where it covers up everything.
Yeah.
He covers up so many different things.
Yeah. So, Carl, tell the clowns in the comments that are worried about Mike, you heard what the coach said. So now all their stupid comments directed to the coach too.
Listen, I'm getting comments that they're saying we need a remix, because there's a lot of people capping up that said Dream should be number one. Why isn't Dream number one?
Come on.
They're factoring
a lot of
in
people,
his offensive ability as
That's
well
what
as
it
his
is.
defense. They're
That's what it is,
factoring.
Mike.
They're giving him extra points because he has to do
Well,
all that he has
also,
to do on offense and defense. That's what they're
When
counting.
you get to the top 3 in anything in life, it's all up for opinion and debate.
Of course.
If it's a top 3. So I'm not going to say anyone's wrong if they want to say Dream. I'm not going to say Ziggy's wrong for. I wanted to say Rodman. It's just what's your preference?
So you went Draymond 1.
Yeah, I went
he said Draymond 1A.
Okay. Just to be clear, 1A, 1. Yeah. So Draymond 1. Okay.
Rodman 2 and Dream was 3, but it's all preference. So you're not crazy if you thought Dream was 1.
That's what I personally think is why people are saying Dream should be higher, because of the fact that he had the responsibility on offense and still maintain the defense, versus what they basically could argue is.
But my question is, where's Scottie Pippen on this list for all the riders who was going crazy? Why is Scottie Pippen? Why people not picking Scottie Pippen right now?
Scottie Pippen didn't make my cut though. When I was trying to pick out players, Pippen didn't make my cut.
But it's not about your cut. Just like people said we should add Dream. Nobody.
Yeah, like why ain't nobody add? Right.
Why didn't we talk about the other players that got? There are a lot of players who got.
There's a lot of you could add Bruce Bowen. There's a lot of players. You could add Ron. You could really add Ron Artest or Meta World Peace.
You could add Gary Payton too.
You definitely could add the glove. Like, come on now. Like,
there's a lot of
so we could add Jordan. You could.
Why we acting like we forgive Michael Jordan? Like, you could definitely add him.
Like, but nobody capered for. But all I'm saying is because there was a lot of capers when Scottie came out with his book, and we had the Last Dance, and Jordan didn't play no defense. Scottie Pippen was the heart of that team. He guarded the best player, but still they didn't even bring his name up for this top defensive six.
That's a fact. Weird. Mac, we just keeping them honest. That's all. Keeping tabs. Just keep them honest. That's all.
Nah, for sure. This was definitely a great discussion. As I said,
who do you have?
My list is like
you don't have to answer.
My list is Ziggy's. Ziggy and I got the same list. I'm going. Clearly, you can see I got my guy on here. So Worm for me is my number 1. So it's just as Ziggy, Rodman, Dream, Draymond, Howard.
So you do have Draymond in the top 3, hater.
Yeah, three top 3. I didn't say I wasn't a hater.
No, you're a hater. We had a whole argument a year and a half ago about you hating on Draymond. So now
I did get on Draymond, yes, because he was they were comparing him. That was a year ago. Okay, all right.
So
go ahead, Mike.
No, not to me, to Draymond. You can apologize now because you heard what Max said. Apologize to him. You see what he does.
But hold on, wait.
Stop disrespecting that man.
Time out. Call is crazy, yo. Wait a minute. Call. Can you bring to the screen? And I don't want you to say anything. Do not say anything. Just do what I'm asking you to do. Bring and share the picture that you shared on Facebook with the top defenders. Can you share that on the screen?
I can. I gotta email it to myself and bring it up.
Email it to yourself because I want to bring you to the front of the congregation for your ways, man.
What did I do?
Just put the picture up.
Give me a sec. Okay, all right. I don't know what I did.
Me, I always end the show in a bang, and I don't know why. It always comes to me the last couple minutes.
Something happened, man. What happened, Carl?
Bring the picture up, son.
All right, hold on.
This is ridiculous. This might take the cake for the things you do when you don't want to blatantly just do something disrespectful. Bring the picture up and share it.
Always the media.
So you talk about the meme I sent to everybody?
No. Just bring the picture up. We ain't asking you to give no disclaimers now.
Bring that picture up.
Okay.
Bring that picture up. and let me show the people what you do. And this is what media we talking about with media people. This is what we talk about.
So
you guys who just want to stare people. Just bring the picture up, man.
Okay. Hold on. I'm bringing it up. I had to.
It's ridiculous, and I'm so mad that none of you noticed it, but I just noticed it in the last second. I was about to.
I didn't even do anything.
You ain't do nothing, right? I know.
No, I didn't. I really did. I took the picture and I just.
Let's see what the people who watch it say. I want the comments to say if they think Carl was sneaky or he just did it by accident.
Let me see what Carl did.
I didn't do nothing, yo. I don't know.
I know.
Share it.
I know.
Stop stalling so you could try to.
I'm not stalling. I'm not
stalling. Shot clock can run out. Stop it.
No, there's no shot clock. I'm not stalling, bro.
I'm not stalling. Hold on. Don't try to stall.
Hold on.
I can share it right now, man. You want me to share it?
No, hold on. I'm waiting for it to download. Give me a second.
Yo, Zig, I know when I show you this Zig, y'all all gonna be like, yeah, he ain't slick. He did this on purpose.
I'm waiting to see because you got me in
wow.
You got everybody on the edge of their
seat.
seat.
You two guys are looking at the picture he sent y'all earlier. Y'all didn't even figure it out yet, which is crazy to me.
Damn.
Now we gonna let this guy bamboozle us like this time and time again and not call him out on his nonsense, yo.
What he's talking about? I have no idea what he's talking about.
Bring the picture up.
It's loading. You see it's loading up right now.
I see it, Mac.
Bring it.
I see
don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. We're gonna let this guy. We're gonna talk about it when this picture finally load, man.
Yo, Carl, bring the picture up.
I am. Hold on. All right, here.
This is nuts, yo. All right. Now this is nuts. The topic is the best defender. Why you got Draymond as a point guard?
That's not. I just grabbed the picture. Are you serious? I just grabbed the picture.
Matumbo is waving the finger. Gobert look like he just blocked somebody's shot. Rodman looking like don't ever.
You're reading way too. Oh my goodness! Really?
Why is Draymond up there with the ball in his hand?
Really? Is that what we doing right now? Are you serious, yo?
Bro, this is media.
He threw me a curveball.
Are you serious,
Mac? I thought you was talking about that Carl had a Laker in the Mutombo picture so he could go at the Lakers.
Y'all are reaching with this one.
Yo, I don't know I know where Mac was going. Media man.
Yo, y'all are reaching. Y'all are really reaching.
If I said who is if you said in football, who is the best quarterback ever, right? But you show a picture of Tom Brady catching a pass. If I said
that is kind of wild, Carl.
Who's the Golden Glove? Who's the best Golden Glove shortstop in the history of baseball? But we show Derek Jeter or one of them on first base, just standing there about to run and take a base. He's like, no,
I can't believe this.
Best defender and show him like this with the ball like this.
I can't. That wasn't even. Wild. You know, I can't even. That wasn't even playing. It wasn't even going. I was looking for pictures.
Subconsciously, you was hating on Draymond, like Mike said.
You
put him in an offensive fit. Who's the best shooter? But I show Steph Curry like this on defense. Come on, sir. What's going on? What's going on here, yo? You're not slick.
Listen,
yo, you gotta stop. So, you gotta apologize to Draymond. You gotta stop, bro. You gotta stop.
Yo,
this is unfair.
Y'all are wild right now.
That's like saying which burger at McDonald's is the best, and you show the McChicken sandwich. Right? That's not hot, yo. Not hot, yo.
Yo, y'all are a trip, man.
Oh, you gotta stop, man.
Yo, y'all are a trip. I'm not even gonna do this with y'all right now.
You gotta stop.
Yo, Mac, this seems to be your calling card after every show. I'm not gonna do that, but props to Draymond. Respect to Draymond. I know Mike and I definitely did have the debate, and I was a little short-sighted on it. But I give him his flowers. I definitely give him his flowers for what he does. So to kind of wrap up, next week is NBA All-Star Weekend. I'll be watching just for the sake of conversation. It's not as interesting.
Listen,
as it used to be.
Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Paul. Yo, football unit. The football unit, step to the front. I don't need to turn my lights on in here. I don't know what
they got to step to the front.
Step to the front.
The congregation.
What in the world was that two-hand touch Pro Bowl I just watched on Sunday? Are you kidding me? Are you?
That means don't talk crazy about our All-Star game. Don't talk crazy about.
You guys, you were better off getting flags and playing flag football than that two-hand touch nonsense that I saw for your Pro Bowl. It was disgusting. It was two-hand touch. Like people were running and then they tapped them and then it ended. The ref blew the whistle like, yeah, that's it, play dead. I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe what was going on. And what's crazy is I like football. So that was what we gonna do. Carl, can you get the football team to talk about that on Sunday? I know it's the Super Bowl.
We can. So Sunday we have a 2-hour pregame show for the kickoff for the NFL.
I see no time for them to touch on
Coach,
that.
if you want to pull up, Mike, I know you're not going to pull up.
I might pull up.
Ziggs, if you want to pull up, we're having a 2-hour pregame, and then we'll have a post game. Just to give you guys a lineup for the Sports Hit List, we debuted 2 new shows this week. So tomorrow is the B show at 6:00. She's continuing her Black History Month. She's going to have the DJ from our wedding pull up for sure. He's going to be talking about.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
who's
DJ
Royale.
The DJ from our wedding, DJ Royale.
Oh, nice,
he's
nice.
Going to come through.
Nice.
Sunday is the NFL kickoff. We're having again 2-hour pregame show, which is going to feature the B show, Smoke and Mirrors, the Fan Zone, and the NFL team. Monday, we're back with Smoke and Mirrors at 7:00. Tuesday, Chirp and Chat with
hold
Ryan.
on, so the basketball team, the only team that didn't get a show for the Super Bowl. Y'all hear this?
There's no point. y'all don't need it. Y'all don't need it. Tuesday, Chirp and Chat. Yeah, Tuesday, Chirp and Chat with Ryan Forte. He's going to give us some hockey at 5:30. The Fan Zone at 7:00 with Manny and Mike at 7 p.m. Sports Mania with Andres and Jordan. Check that out at 4 p.m. on Wednesdays. Then we're back here with On the Court at 7 p.m. I'll have another debate, and we'll see what happens after the trade. And then AEW Injection immediately following AEW Dynamite Wednesdays at 10 p.m. So there you have it. 7 shows, 4 days a week.
What time does the Fan Zone start? What time does the Fan Zone start?
7 p.m. 7 p.m. on Tuesdays.
No, but what time are they going on Sunday?
Oh, they go on to start off at 4 o'clock to kick off.
So that's all right, I'm pulling up on the Fan Zone.
Okay, cool.
Good looks, Manny. I'm gonna pull up on you and Mike for a little while in the Fan Zone.
Okay, cool.
I got a special surprise. I got a special surprise for y'all football fans. I got something for y'all.
So 7 shows, 4 days a week, plenty of content. Like, share, comment, subscribe on all social media platforms: Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook. We're all over. Give us a shout out. And I got a documentary coming in June. Taekwondo, the next big project I've been working on, a Taekwondo documentary.
I thought it was Taekwondo Wong.
No. Yo, Mac, listen, you may be my next target for a documentary. I ain't gonna front.
Man, when you get a documentary, it's all over. That's it. It's over. Reach. I hope it's over my career yet. So
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We have to tell the coach story. We got to take it back to the roots and tell your story, bro.
Yeah, we don't want to know documentary though.
But like, share, comment, subscribe to all the Sports Hit List contests, fellas. I'll see you next week. I'll try to think of a new debate. You guys have any ideas, throw it my way. But we definitely had a good one here. Talk about defensive players.
Just go wing defenders next.
Wing defenders, that could possibly that'll be a good one. You guys take care. Have a good week.
And if Scottie Pippen ain't involved in that one, they need to just get out of there.
Peace, fellas.
I'll take care.